allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Randy, do you want to take care of the?
Yeah, the BZA, they met on November 7th to ask, they met and Center Bank had asked for a variance request for the sidewalk for signage. So they basically only needed a 1 foot variance, placing their signage back 9 feet instead of the 10 foot that the ordinance states. The request was approved by the BZA members with all yeses to their findings, that it's not injurious to the public health, safety, morale, or general welfare of the community, and that it's any of the area adjacent to the property included in the variance will not be affected. So there isn't any issues with that. They just needed a final approval, or if anybody had any questions on their signage and their placement for Center Bank at 207 North Jefferson Street.
I'll make a motion to approve. I saw it, it's lower than the Hamilton Center one, so.
I think that may have been a mentioned too, but just to do the right thing, they.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
All right, well, Randy, you got the floor, so.
Okay, I have claims in the amount of $536,719.03. I don't know if anybody has any questions for me on any of those. Our power bill was $178,000 for the month. We did have a wastewater. We did the install of the new blower system for $81.44. That was included in that. I also had a final bill on the Beetle Street project for storm, which was $62,000, so that's being paid with here. Our sludge removal from the wastewater plant was almost $37,000, which is included in that total. Light materials had about an $19,000 material request. If there was any questions on those?
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Have two sets of adjustments, one for $814.97 and one for $1795.90. Mainly these are water leaks. We're kind of out of the pool adjustment season.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I'll pass both of those separately. And then I do have all of the minutes caught up, so there's actually 5 sets of minutes there. There was 2 that won't be signed by Chris, but if you want to do approvals on those, unless you have any questions, and I'll adjust the 2 that he was absent from.
I'll move to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That's all I have.
You ready, Bill?
Yes. Update on the police department. We have that call box out front. We've had to have it repaired twice. The third time we called in, they replaced it. It appears to be working fine now. They've got to finish painting some trim around the doors. They've got to move a sensor out of the evidence room into the hallway. And then there's the entrance.
Well, Bill, after further investigation, I believe we realized we had alternatives to that, so I think we're good. It's a matter of settling up with AC on it, unless you had any further thoughts or comments.
No, I just,
Okay.
if we just want to leave it as is, then
Yeah, I think our alternative satisfies requirements as far as I can tell. So yeah, we can save some money, why not, and be in compliance.
okay. Grants, I've currently applied for a grant for test kits a little under $600. I go next month for the final part of that and should get that granted. And if the board doesn't have an issue, I'll be applying for a $6,000 grant through the opioid money for a drug terminator.
Drug terminator.
Yeah, it's an incinerator.
Oh, okay.
It's a mobile incinerator, so
What are you doing?
we won't have to go and rely on the sheriff's department. We'll be able to do it right here at the police department, and we won't have to transport those drugs throughout the town and take the, chance of getting in a wreck and maybe some of this stuff, some of that evidence becoming an issue if it were to get punctured.
So is it gas or how's it?
No, it's powder, but if you got in a wreck, it could.
No, I'm talking about the.
Oh.
Yeah.
It is started off with wood, very minimal smoke, and it has a fan system that would pull the smoke back into the incinerator, basically like kind of what a turbo does.
Do we do it outside or inside?
Outside, yeah.
Okay. Just curious, I'm so
Sitting nauseous.
on such a thing.
No flames inside.
And
Okay.
okay.
Might have to get the fire department approval on that.
We would like to use the, some of the money out of the tire fund, which I still have all the money in that tire fund, to remove a light bar and some decals off of Ian's commission.
Yeah, well, it has to do with the whole vehicle situation and how we're going to work that. Yeah, we can talk about that more in the budget part of the meeting, next meeting, I guess. But yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Okay.
Is that a motion,
For what?
Yeah.
so Bill can do that?
Oh, sure, I'll move.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We have 4 nuisances going to court on Wednesday.
Probably tomorrow. Right, Tuesday.
Is it Tuesday?
No, you did 7 Wednesday, you're right, yep. Actual court proceeding.
And then finally, Doug approached me, and we have some bicycles that have been found and nobody's claimed. And I checked with Nick, and if they're unclaimed, what we'd like to do is take those bicycles and donate them to organizations like Cops and Kids or churches or the school or something, that we could maybe use those bicycles for gifts for kids that are.
Does John only do that with new bikes?
Yeah, I think he only
He
does that
buys
with.
new ones.
Yeah.
Well, these are just sitting down there. They sit there. I mean, obviously, we'll look at them if they need hand grips or something. I figure I'll get some collection from the employees or whoever wants to donate. We'll fix them up just a little bit, not major, and then contact churches and schools. They can let us know a parent looking for a bike for a kid for birthday, Christmas, or just have something to, instead of just setting, I mean, get very little in auction for them.
Yeah.
So it'll be done on our own time and stuff like that, so.
I don't see an issue with it. I mean, do we need a motion on that?
I think they wanted your blessing.
Okay.
So be it.
Thank you.
That's all I have.
Thank you, Bill. Brandy, you want to update us on
I don't really have any new updates. It's just kind of if there was any questions on anything or anything brought up, maybe that Doug doesn't already cover. If you have any updates on anything.
On the
that's going-
projects?
Yeah,
Yes,
going on
the-
around town, so.
Anderson Street, I went out and talked to them today. Weather permitting, they should be done with Anderson Street sidewalks, curbs and all that. He said 2 weeks with the weather changing, could possibly be 3, but they look to get done pretty quick. John Stacks, I sent him a text today. They will not be in milling Stark Street this week. They've got it scheduled for the Monday, the 2nd of December, weather permitting, and then paving the 3rd and 4th. Like I said, that all depends on weather, so they have to push that back.
So they're assuming the asphalt plant's going to still be operating?
Well,
Yeah.
the weather dropping out, Thursday, dropping 30 degrees,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, I haven't
Say
looked
the way
out.
the weather's looking, I'm saying that window's gonna be closed.
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, they need 40-degree temperature.
Yeah, and I reached out to John a couple weeks ago about that we're fine with. We have to wait till spring instead of putting it down too cold.
So what's our plan for Anderson Street? I mean, as far as just, I mean, they're just gonna stone it and,
Yeah, they'll, talking to Doug Mattingly, excuse me, he said that they'll get all the curbs and all that in, and then they'll come in and level it out, do all the gravel work and everything, and then it'll be ready for milling, so that, yes, they'll have it all ready and do all that, and then depending on the weather.
okay.
So, but, and then obviously throughout the winter, if that's the way it stays, we'll stay on top of it the best we can, keeping rock and stuff in there.
Okay. I know there was, several ditches going across the
There
road.
is.
Those weren't, those are just been stoned, haven't they? I mean, they haven't been cold patched or anything.
No, they're just now doing the last couple of them this week too. All the storm drains should be in this week, and all the structures. Then they'll just be coming back in with the curb machine and stuff like that, and that, button that up. Like you said, 2 weeks he's open.
Good.
So everything. So yeah, we did get the 6-inch water main on Anderson Street. Also, it was in the way of the storm structure. Tony and Mike and a couple other guys went over there, was able to lower that and get the storm drain in. So that job was done. We did have a 2-inch blow apart Saturday north of town behind Cardinal Apartments. B&T come in. We had a fitting that they installed on that new that had blown apart. They were in here pretty quick. Got that repaired back for us. And electric department's just been busy with some power outage. They changed some cutouts. Been doing a lot of killing power for people, doing updates on meters and stuff. Park restrooms are closed, winterized for the winter. We did a little bit of touch up with the bathrooms at the depot. Some of the insulation was coming down because the ceiling wasn't all the way over. So we added some 1x3s up there. And so, and then other than that, we're just going to keep on with the tree trimming. The next couple, or at least a week, is going to be really focused on Christmas lights. We have started the snowmen, or snowflakes, I'm sorry, installing. So that's going to take probably a week. I mean, that's what they got done today, 2 guys. So we probably got a good week just right out here. And then they got to get the Christmas tree decorated too. So we'll be focusing on that. So
Good deal.
everything. Outside that, I don't have anything else. Like I said, we're going to keep on just tree trimming and cleaning up the leaves. We're going to come in Wednesday night and try to blow them and sweep the square as much as we can. And hopefully we've only got 1 or 2 other times
Yeah.
and we'll be done with the square. So I have no purchases this time. So
Can I put something on your to-do list? Mike?
You sure can.
And it's probably weather permitting. Like some of the parking spaces sort of around the streets, around the square, especially like in front of businesses. Could you maybe paint parking spaces?
Where? Reline them.
Yeah, just reline them.
okay, yeah.
Probably different places, just down the streets.
You'll say York Street could use it too.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, by the church there, or our new parking lot.
our new park.
Okay, yep.
Yeah, you mean on York, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that, bringing up York, I did order a new post and sign, that one that was ran over. We don't stock that style post, so I did order 5, so we'll have a few on since we got them up and down the street starting to, so we did order some of them. So as soon as that end, that stop sign will be put back up.
Did that tear up
It tore it all up.
the buried part of that too?
It's all dead.
Okay.
What had it? Do we know?
Truck. But the guy called and,
Oh, that's right, yeah.
and I believe
He
that.
just does, he's just waiting on a price and
Yep.
he will be compensating. There wasn't,
Yep.
I mean, there wasn't any, it wasn't like he was charged with anything, but
You just back into it?
I think he just turned.
Windows were frosted.
Yeah.
I was up there right after it happened, and yeah, his windows got fogged up and couldn't see, and went over to her and it signed.
Yeah, he called, I mean, we were closed, of course, for Veterans Day, but he called and he wants to make sure he takes care of all of that, so.
Had an officer on scene. Yep.
Good.
So that's all I've got right now.
All right, thank you, Doug. You got anything, Nick? UMAC's not here, so apparently they have nothing. Park?
Well, okay, we wanna go to that now, we can, what I got, gosh, well, the big thing, yeah, the big thing. We have this letter that we sent to IDM for the findings of their annual inspection back in September, and apparently, they want more out of us, I'm not sure how they phrased it, but what was it, Brandon? They didn't like it, or didn't accept it, or
I
whatever.
think they're looking for more of a commitment,
More
not a
commitment.
verbal, we're working on it.
So,
Just the generator.
yeah, it's regarding a generator, portable generator for the lift stations, which we have other generators we'll talk about in the budget process, but next meeting, but yeah, Doug got us a couple quotes for last meeting, we have one from Houston, and we have one from Valpark.
Valpark, isn't that how you said it?
Anyway, yeah, I've been trying to go over these and figure out the differences. One of them's very detailed from Houston. They're a local company. Both are resellers for generators. I mean, they're reselling, whatever. Blue Star, I believe, is the one that Houston has, and Generac's one that Edward has. Houston takes care of the generator in this building, is my understanding.
Yes, that's who serviced it for REMC. That's who Tracy, that's how I got them. Tracy gave me their contact information.
And then, I don't know, Evan Park put the one in out the water plant.
Evan Park's who we went through for the water project, the two generators at the water plant.
I will say Houston had a much more detailed bid, if you can understand what it all means. It's a trailer generator. They're diesel, twin axle trailer. And help me if I get off track here, Doug, but there's like 5 different hookups, or there's different types of hookups on these.
Yeah, like 2 of our lift stations are exactly the same. Well, we have 4 of them there, this will be running, and 2 of them are the same, and the other 2 are the same. So, but there's like 150 amp in the 2 bigger ones. So basically, for them to run 2, it's going to be a 300 amp service. And then the other ones are 100 amp. So the generator has to be designed to be able to run the higher stuff and lower, so you get into a big, and then they got to put quick connects on the boxes out there so we can hook the generator up to.
There's like 20, both bids had the same amount for as far as the work at the lift station, $24,000, some $400 to set up at the lift station to hookups that will be hooked into the power goes out. So this gets back to the generators. One is more expensive than the others, and trying to figure out why. It's kind of beyond me. But we need to make a decision, so we can send that to IDM.
Both generators spec out the same?
Yeah, I think pretty close. They're real. I believe they're real close on that.
Yeah.
Both companies I spoke with, very knowledgeable companies. I don't think we'd have an issue with either one of them, but not that much knowledge on generators, so this is.
One difference, David, one had a dual wall fuel tank, the other one had a single wall fuel tank. I don't know how important that is. One specifies 250 gallon tank, the other one, I don't know what they specify. They're kind of thin on description of things, details. And they break out the kilowatts. One's in kilovolts, one's in kilowatts.
So the difference.
Well, I'm not going to try to explain it. Anybody wants to explain the difference? I looked it up. I should print it out. Has Brett looked at any of this stuff?
He was with us.
Okay.
I don't know if he's actually sat down and looked at much of it, but yeah, he went with us to help explain to the generator guys exactly what was going on power-wise and what we can and can't do.
Yeah, again, some of the stuff's missing in one compared to the other, or I just don't know how to cross-reference perhaps. So that's kind of leaves me at a loss.
Does Brett have a recommendation on it, either one?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I hate to pick just based on price, I guess is where I'm at, because I'm not quite
I know Generac guy said that the way his hookups are, anybody can hook it up and flip the switch. I don't have to have Brett or Jared or anybody.
Well, that's a question I'd like to ask Houston, well, you know.
Yeah, I should have called them today to have more information on that, but I do know he made that a point in there that I don't have to call Brett off of a job to come hook this
You know,
up, and have him.
if that's the case with Houston, I like the Blue Star generator.
Yeah.
As far as the details, I'm just impressed with their bid.
So-
Generac gave us basically a one-page.
So you like more words instead of?
Well, I like to know what I'm buying, and I can't, it makes it difficult. So I don't know how we can make a decision tonight unless we just want to shoot from the hip.
I know Houston said if you would like, they would attend a meeting. Or come
Well,
out and meet.
again, you're talking to a bunch of people that aren't.
Well, see, that's just it. It was all new to me when we're sitting there talking all this information. I've never messed with a generator.
Well, you know, the difference in the generators is substantial. I mean, one's 133,825, one's 174,000. The other parts of the bids are the same amount. So yeah, it's a big difference in why, I guess, is what I'm wondering. Is this one that much better, and if so, why? Yeah. So gosh, I don't know what to. how to
Well,
go.
I definitely want Brett's opinion on it.
Okay.
Maybe even IMPA, we could.
Well, yeah, that'd be a
Talk to-
good third-party opinion, get IMPA involved as far as, I'm sure they've seen generators. Maybe we ought to send the data to them and say, well, what's the deal here?
Yeah, I'll reach out to Mike Adams.
So I guess we can't make a decision, but if IMPA asks, we're getting darn close. Or not IMPA, IDM. Too many eyes. Yeah. So yeah, we have that issue that we need to resolve. So we can get that by the next meeting, that would be good, maybe make a decision on these darn generators. Well, I guess we don't have you, Mac, to ask about status of the clarifier. What that's going on there. Okay, so,
The drive showed up for the
It did show up?
clarifier.
okay.
Yes, I need to reach out to Bruce later. I unloaded that the other day, so it is here. He should be able to contact him to get it installed.
Yeah. One item that I've been tossing around my head about meeting rooms here, and I think Doug should have a meeting room somewhere in the back, an office in the back. I've been to the office out back in the back building, and it's like a closet plus size. But my point is, Doug has a lot of paperwork, we want to get him organized, and he needs a space to get away from that area, better environment to work on his paperwork when he needs to do so. I think he needs some tables to spread his project paperwork out on, be organized, and we haven't, I don't know how you ended up doing that back there, but you set up an office and off you went, but that's a very small space to try to do much.
I chose that. I chose that because I feel like my guys need to have access to me.
Right, but you
And
know, if
they
they
need
need
to be
you out
able-
back, they can text you and say, hey Doug, come out here.
I mean, one thing I do let my guys know is my door is always open for them, and I like that.
Well, that's nice. But
So
but
I think,
a
I mean,
space-
if you want me up here, that's where I'll be, but I
Well,
feel
I
like
think it would
there's,
make your work more organized if you had a place to be organized. I don't know, anybody got any comments on this? I'm just,
I don't disagree with you, but I mean, you can also keep your office out there. I mean,
okay, I mean, yeah, I don't have a problem. I just like the fact that, you know, they don't want them in and out up here, and I totally get that.
well, Dave,
But there's times they need to,
It's pretty damn small.
yeah,
do what?
His space out there is pretty small.
Yeah.
so.
I mean,
But I mean, you know, if he doesn't have something going on where he can be out there amongst those guys, it's fine. I mean, I don't have an issue with that.
so I guess where I'm going with this too, next year, we have expectations that are different from what we've had in the past. And a part of that is just data and record keeping and organization.
Yeah.
And there's no way in the world he's gonna do that out back. I mean, that office is about as big as from here to that wall. That's not much space. So I'm advocating for Doug to get an office in the back of the building. You know, we got that big space back there that used to be the old GM. I mean, you could set up 2 or 3 tables and lay stacks of papers out there and be organized.
I'm fine with it. I mean, you wanna make a motion on it? or-
Well, then we can make a motion, I'm just
I mean,
saying. It's.
Yeah,
we have the
find a
space.
place in here to
We have the
settle in.
space, it keeps them in the back, so we need
You
to.
got a week to get out.
No. That's been said.
You can have this room.
We might as well put our space to use, and that's an unutilized area back there.
We
But
talked
yeah,
about the mapping to, like, maybe utilizing one of those back office spaces down here in the hallway, which would be easy, convenient
Yes.
access from the back door for
Yeah.
him possibly, but would kind of be an area for everyone too, that you'd have some space to put some mapping. We could do map storage there. We kind of talked briefly about some
Yeah,
organization
we talk about,
things
I think
back
they
there.
have a sign on the door, data storage,
Yeah.
and it has the 3 cabinets in there, and you know, that needs to become our document storage room and have a lock on it. And people need to sign in and out stuff, because we've had stuff disappear, it's embarrassing. It's probably around here somewhere, but we've looked for some stuff, and yeah, we need to secure our documents, and that'd be a great room to do, it's already set up.
Yeah.
We just need to improve on a little bit. So yeah, that's one thing I wanted to bring up, I don't think we need a motion, let's just, if everybody's okay with it, it's fine.
Give you a spot, Doug.
Yeah, I'll see, what else? There's a lot of this stuff will come up in the, next meeting, in the IMPA 3-phase project, in my meters. Well, one thing, right on a wall here, our office here, we've talked about putting stuff on the wall. I mean, right now, I know when I see the video, this wall back here is just, it needs something. And Brandy has some ideas, I'm not sure I follow what she's wanting to do, but what do you guys think? I mean, we need to do something.
What's your thoughts?
Well, we have a company that's making a seal, which is not our bicentennial, but our actual town, so it's the same as what matches the logos on the truck. Our original idea is it's mapped out and designed for that area over there, and we'll probably do a lighting just to kind of bring up that area to make it look a little better. It can go over here if that's where you so choose.
What's it made out of, Brandy?
I think it's a vinyl. It's not a sticker. It's like a 3D away from the wall type of decal, if you will.
Okay.
It doesn't stick to the wall.
Yeah.
I've seen some of the towns and cities that have held their meetings that they have something nice on the back of the wall that just would say Town of Rockville, not necessarily a logo or decal of anything. But I mean, it's up to you guys.
How big is this logo that you're doing?
I think it's 3 feet.
Diameter?
Yeah. I think so. The measurements for that particular wall were sent to the company and they designed it based on that criteria, which you could probably put it up a little bit higher if you so wish to put it there.
We
but
put it up, right? I mean,
they will install it because it sticks away from the wall a short distance. It's not a stick to the wall or screwed to the wall or anything.
Well, that sounds interesting.
Sticks out. But if that's where you want it, it's still designed. The fitting can still go there.
I don't know. Lady, what do you? Huh?
I don't know.
You don't know? David, where are you at?
Well, either way would be fine with me. I mean, if you want to have a seal on either wall and like I said, either have Town of Rockville or Rockville Town Hall or something.
I can't
We
visualize our
definitely need a
seal.
clock in here.
I can't
So,
think what our seal says.
uh,
What does our seal say?
Yeah, I mean, that's the bicentennial
Rockville,
one, but it'll
Indiana.
say, I think it just says Rockville on the top and it says Parke County, so it's basically that without the bicentennial.
Is it one collar? Mm-hmm.
I mean, it'll be exactly like what is on the vehicles. I mean, it's a black and white decal,
Huh. That's
but it's not a vinyl sticker that sticks
Okay.
to your wall.
okay.
It's a little classier than that.
So anyway, when's that going to be done?
They might have it done by the end of the week, but I don't think I can get it installed by Friday. It's a company out of
Okay.
Terre Haute that's doing
So we
it.
put that over there, what will you want to put back here? And then what would it be?
Something that
Letter?
says Town of Rockville.
What kind of letters are you gonna get?
I mean,
Times New Roman.
Beautiful Comic Sans.
Uh-huh. So, yeah, we need a clock somewhere, I think either, I don't know, maybe on the half wall.
I prefer it was over there so I could see it, but I mean, you know, wherever you want to put it is fine with me.
Well, good, so we're coming up with some ideas. Chris, any input?
Picture of our president.
Picture, yeah,
No.
there you go. There you
You
go.
talking about Trump?
Trump or
Well,
Dave?
I think we need to hang out on the wall in January.
Yes.
I mean, that'd be a good time to put up this presidential picture.
Some pictures, I think some pictures are good.
Well, we are, I think we're gonna have a lot to choose from. We did get someone gave me the original blueprints of the building itself from the 18 whatever. So those will be framed. They don't necessarily have to go in this room, but I think it's a piece of history to keep for the building. So when we get those back, you can just take a look at them and see where placement of those. But we have some other memorabilia items that could always be framed and hung if that's what you guys wanted to do. It's your space.
Current photograph of the board president.
Yes.
Yeah.
In the form of a dartboard.
Okay, let's move on.
Okay.
So you got anything else under old business?
No, most of the stuff will kind of really should be in our budget meeting.
Okay. Any new business from you?
No?
Okay, well,
Don't have anything.
okay. We were, did you want to comment on?
I would. I actually listed if you have an agenda for old business or new business, however you want to look at it. We do have the two bids. Apparently this was a topic of the Parke County Charter, if you will, today. I received several text messages. My name was personally brought into some of the commenting that was a lot of false information. I think a lot of people are misinformed about the town in general. The town hall building is for sale. The community center is for sale. We've advertised for those bids. That has all been public. That's ran in the newspaper. I believe it's going to be in the newspaper twice. We're taking bids until 4 p.m. on December 4th, which will be our next meeting date. Those will be sealed bids. Those minimum, we've gone through the appraisal process. We've done the average of 2 appraisals. So those minimum prices are set there if anybody has any questions on any of those. You read what you will into things that you see on Chatter, but I was very disappointed in some of the members that it got back to at a Thrive meeting recently, that it was said that the town council kicked the senior group out and gave them 1 week to get out of the building. The building hasn't sold yet. So I had a couple comments from some Thrive members from Terre Haute wanting to know where we stood with that. So there's a lot of false information floating around. It would be wise if somebody has a question if they would call here. No, I don't run the town hall building down there. I don't run the community center. There were several comments made that they had put in requests about things and that we weren't addressing them because my name was personally used, that I didn't care. That has nothing to do with it. Anytime that they have an issue there, there's a work order done that's submitted to the utility department. And I know for a fact that those concerns were addressed because Doug and I had talked about them afterwards. So if anybody is interested in the purchase of them, those 2 buildings are up for sale. And if they have any other further questions, they can either contact me at the office or they can attend the board meeting on December 4th.
So what did Thrive say?
There was just talk about it that it was said that the council kicked them out. And that this was like 2 weeks ago, I think, when they had a meeting, and that they had until the end of last week to get out of the facility. So I just reassured back to Thrive that this was not accurate. This is, this was what was in the paper. Here's the process that we're going in. And they understood. They were given incorrect information, if you will.
Well, thanks for replying to them. It's been historically, it's been utilized less and less over the years.
And I looked back over the last 5 years, as far as the revenue comes in, not that that's the big topic.
It's not the main criteria.
No, but it's less than $600 a year. There are several comments that I did read too about, so many people and so many organizations would love to utilize that. I don't know where they're all at. But
Well, historically, again,
aren't.
all we have is our historic history to go on, but how I rationalize in my mind to justify selling that and the community and the old town hall is these businesses are in downtown and our buildings are in downtown and we don't have a need for them. And I'd rather see a business go in there that's generating tax dollars and income and providing jobs. And, you know, we haven't, we're in a transitional period, the way I see it. We've just moved into here. We have another building that once the Old National Bank's rehabbed and turned over to the county, we'll end up with another piece of property. We have to figure out what to do.
Perhaps we will.
And
Perhaps, but.
just so everybody's clear, and that's not the armory either.
No, we're talking about the, was VOC over here. You know, that's a potential building we'll end up with, and, you know, and there's an event center being built or rehabbed into an event center as we sit here tonight that's just off the square to the north. I call it the old Asbury building. I believe it was originally a newspaper office back in the day. So there's a new event center coming into town. So yeah, there's a lot of information out there that some folks obviously don't have.
There's also that event center out there, the Bridge 61, that has space that can be utilized for.
Right, out of IGA, yeah.
There are rental opportunities.
Kirby now,
Right.
yeah.
Here, and I mean, I know you're getting outside of Rockville, but Montezuma has a great community center. that
Oh, is it part of their town hall building? It's all in one, isn't it?
I don't know, if that- or is it that?
Yeah, I thought it was, yeah, when they designed that new
Yeah.
town hall, they built that into it.
And I know that's not in Rockville, I mean, I get that, but there are other options here that I don't think are being looked at or utilized in that purpose.
Well, I
It's
think
just
this
a-
upcoming new event center over there in the old, I call it the Asbury building, is gonna be great. It's got parking lots right there, there's plenty of parking, easy to get to. The community center, our old community center, is just not a great location, very, very difficult for parking and access. So, anything else?
I think if they reached out to, there are several churches, I think. that if they
Well, then you
reached
have
out
that
to-
option too. Yes.
would be an option.
Montezuma does have a nice community center, and she's right, would be a good place for it.
Well, it's, you know, yeah, there's plenty of places, like I said, there's plenty of places even here to rent and utilize. It was just very disappointing that it was presented that the council didn't care about seniors, or that that's a very disappointing statement to make. That has nothing to do with the
Some of
reasons
us
for
are
these buildings.
seniors.
Yeah, in fact, yeah, there's several here that we're right on the threshold. Yeah. Okay.
So if anybody has any questions, it would be nice if, I'd be more than happy to talk to them about it, rather than saying that I don't care about something for the town or someone. That's simply not true, so.
All righty. Anybody else have anything? Any public comment? Luke, you have anything for us? I mean,
Sucks to hear that Anderson's not gonna be done after we were reassured that it would be done on time.
So is there no chance it'll be paid?
I would say,
I was
looking at the weather, the chances are pretty slim. I'm not gonna say that they're not gonna keep the asphalt plants open, but
I don't tell the can. The temperature's not gonna be there. They need 40 degrees temperature, 40 degree air and ground temperature to lay that.
so
I checked with them.
that window's gonna close pretty quick, so.
And beginning of November, I checked with him 2-3 times. I'm like, "Are you sure that you can get it done?" He assured me, which he knows more about asphalt than I do, but
I would rather wait till spring, and make sure we get a
Get
good
it right,
asphalt base down, and then to rush it and end up with a horrible road in a year from now, so.
and then Park, I just need that water info from you. For
Well,
that.
you know, Luke, I don't know if it's going to be possible to get it together. I mean,
Okay.
We'll talk more about it, but it's trying to run down the data has been very difficult, especially with the meters. You know, the water tower contract, that's not difficult. The what's the other one?
Maintenance plan?
We had the meters, had the water tower. Oh, the Peerless project out at Wellfields. You know, that's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Those two parts, but the meter stuff, all I know is we had a bunch of meters on pallets in 2012, and they were installed over the next 4 years. That's all I know.
Okay. I will try and get the.
No, I could send you what I have as far as the water tower and the Peerless work. I mean, that would be a little more. Yeah, I meant to email you a week ago.
Very good.
It's been.
I just want to make sure we get that cleaned up and
That would
fully
be
done for
good.
you as we wrap it up.
Yes.
Jim, you got anything?
No.
Kevin, you got anything? Any public comment? Now's the time.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?